decided to redo this update vid. It started upload on a previous one, a different one, and I was like, no, I'm just gonna cancel and delete that. So as long as inspections go good, the offer on the place will stand. I was worried about, the earnest money aspect, if it was going to end up being more than I've already got together. And thankfully it's less than I was expecting. I was thinking it was going to be up a lot higher, but no, it's thankfully doable. The realtors getting my offer in and all that stuff. I'm offering the asking price. Because to me, because in all honesty, I don't know what a reasonable price is for homes in those areas, because I've never lived really in these other states before. So any of the states I've been looking at, some of these homes here in Oregon would be like $300,000 to $300,000 plus homes. That's just plain and simple what it would be. Considering you go to look for anything in the 200,000 range here in Oregon, you're lucky to find a manufactured home in that price range, and it be nice. He's been trying to go after the moles, I think, here, or the gophers or whatever. A monkey right there. Momo. Yeah, it's gonna be an interesting drive anyways, once moving out there. The aim is to move out there probably here by the end of next month. That way I don't want to be driving over there during the fall or into winter type thing. Kind of want to already be there, be sort of settled in. The other offer that I was going to get from the other people, I haven't gotten it yet. And that's the thing, I'm not worried about it either way, because the original offer is still more than enough to do what I need to do, with having a little bit extra left. So I'm not too worried. I'm just not that kind of person, and really, this is already kind of set in motion. So unless they were to offer me something like really good, I'm just not worried about it. I'm already overwhelmed. I've been battling a lot of shutdowns here lately. I've already been in that burnout stage, but I have to keep going. It's part of why I've just been, I think, passing out like every few hours every day, it seems like. Thankfully still getting shit done. I gotta get the septic inspectors out there to my current place and all, so that I can get that done. Once that's done, then basically all the selling stuff is done. Like, the sale of that home is done. I just got to get the fuck out of there. And without the new offer type thing, and just sticking with the old, I'm going back to just taking what I need. Some things I'll obviously be taking anyways, because I don't really have time to go through anything. That house gives me a lot of anxiety, and as much as I miss that person and I still love them, I'm scared of them. I've had no care in the world on how badly they destroyed my life just to get people's sympathy for them and to portray me as the world's biggest piece of shit. I've been trying to hint to my folks that I'd rather them, if they are to sell their home and move, that I'd rather them move down closer to their grandchild, my younger son, because he still keeps a relationship with them. He still sees them and talks to them and all whenever he can. And I know as long as I'm here, they're going to refrain from it until I'm gone. And my parents don't need to lose what relationships they have left, like with at least that grandchild and great-grandchild. Because my ex destroyed that relationship between us. She got me labeled all kinds of fucking things, and it really destroyed the relationship between me and my son, even though I raised him, and he knows me better than that. So the move is going to end up turning into not just starting over. It's going to be like a whole new life. As much as I don't want it to happen, I already know that I won't be seeing my son or my grandchild ever again after that move. That's how much hate that was pushed into these different ones towards me over the last few years. I mean, I got abandoned, alienated, isolated every which way by that person, by all the fucking hatred that was being pumped. And because I was never aware of all the shit talking going on until it was too late, trying to speak up my defense, all people do is just look at me like I'm crazy and I'm just, blowing smoke out my ass, even though I've got all the receipts to prove it. And all they've ever had is accusation. And I wouldn't be surprised at times that they didn't set me up and try to record shit to make it out like, hey, this is what happened. And it's like, I could record stuff too, and if I don't show everything that's going on, I can get people to believe that things are going a certain way too. And I do know how to for most part, edit video. No, this move's gonna end up being just myself on my own, my dogs and my cat. Hopefully I can get the 4 baby chickens and the baby turkey over there, otherwise they're gonna be staying. I am hoping my parents stay here in Oregon. Because one of the things that, like I've told them, is exactly what I told my ex. I said, if you get rid of me, you'll get everybody else back. You'll have a relationship with your grandkids again in time. You'll have all that back. Here, they're still closer to the family members. Like 2 of my aunts that my mom still talks to. And then my dad's last surviving sibling, which is his little sister. They're all closer to them from here still. So trying to move wherever I'm moving to, they're actually going to be moving further away. And it's dumb. I really don't want them moving out there. They don't deserve to have the same punishment that I've been given because of a narcissistic person that just does not give a shit what she's done to anybody's lives. In her mind, it's okay to abuse somebody, and then the moment they speak up, defend, or they end up being driven to the point of lashing out verbally and everything, because they loved gaslighting, they loved provoking. They loved breaking me down mentally because she knew that I think she knew that I was on spectrum. I honestly am starting to think that she did, because she knew how to get me to melt down or shut down altogether. She knew how to do it. And that was to constantly overwhelm me, and then to constantly fucking keep doing what she was doing. And that's why I got to a point I gave up and only did what I needed to do because I had to. But This move is going to end up being a goodbye to a lot of people. The damages that were done were definitely done, and the only way they can be corrected is if the liar tells the truth. And I don't ever foresee that happening. They've got too much ego to protect. I'm going to pause this for a second. Sorry. But I have to treat this move as if I never had family, basically. It's not like I'm going to forget them. I'm going to try to never forget the good times, but I'm going to do my best to leave the bad times behind with all the bullshit that I'm leaving at the house. The toxic hatred that I dealt with the last few years from even my own children, because of that person talking so much shit, and all this time has not given a shit, that she destroyed the fucking relationship between me and my child and even my grandchild, to the point I'm having to look at even them, whether they're just gonna be happy about it. That's the way I feel and the way I think, because I get people trying to tell me, oh, your son loves you, blah blah blah. Actions speak louder than words. This move will be a goodbye. I'm not a person who is going to... Let's put it this way. If you can't, visit or have any type of relationship with somebody when you're 3 miles apart, and you couldn't do it when they're 300 miles apart, do you think you're going to have a relationship with them when you're 2,000 miles apart? And that decision of having to move that far really was forced. Why would you stay somewhere where everybody around you hates you, and the only people who don't are the people who've witnessed this shit themselves? Like my neighbors. And some of my friends who outright were... That's why I quit gaming. I've already gone over that. There are people who outright listened to it, what I was going through. I was supposed to take that abuse every single day. I wasn't supposed to eventually get mad. I wasn't supposed to defend myself. I wasn't supposed to do anything. I was supposed to take the abuse. I was supposed to take being lied to. I was supposed to take being taken advantage of. I was supposed to take being cheated on. I was supposed to take being left every 3 to 6 months. And at first, it was literally 4 times in 6 months. I was supposed to take that abuse and keep getting my head and my emotions fucked with. And not once did they bother to tell the truth. So, yeah, this move did so much damage that it forced the hand. This move was already planned months ago. For 2 reasons. One, I was in hopes that they would pull their head out of their ass, knock their shit off, and start focusing on the relationship so that we both could benefit from it. All she could think about was her friends and the person that she was cheating on me with, and now I understand why she didn't want to move. She's been fucking somebody else while in a relationship with me and telling me to my face that she loved me. For the last couple years at least. It could be longer. It could have been shorter than that. How do I know? Because this has been going on for a while. And when somebody's been doing this shit to you for the last 4 years, I can't help but think this has been going on the whole time. Whether it's the same person or not, I don't know. But I can tell you right now, regardless of all the shit, I still stayed faithful and loyal to the relationship. I know what it's like to go through that shit, and there was only one point in my life that I was that kind of idiot, and realized that hurts people, and when it was done to me, it hurt a lot. So ever since, I've never done it. And you know what? There's a reason why I've never been with a faithful woman before. Every person I've been with has cheated on me. And the only reason why I haven't been with that many people is because I am a long-term relationship person. When I'm with somebody, I devote myself to them. I give everything I can to them until basically they throw me away. And it's always the same way. They're always out looking for somebody else. They're cheating behind my back. All that shit. while they're telling me they love me, and then they turn around and leave me in the dirt, broken. This time around, though, I've got a little lucky. Because I knew that this was coming around, and I just didn't know when. That's why since, I want to say around February, around my birthday, I started shutting down. I didn't talk very much to her. I saw what was going on. I just didn't want to admit to it. So when she called on that day to admit that she was cheating, I flat out told her, there's somebody else, isn't there? I was like, just fucking say it, because I'm getting tired of it. I already knew. And in the end, Miss Moneybags gets to go pay rent, go pay all this fucking utilities all on her own that she didn't have to pay for the last 4 years. She used me for that. And my family. Same time she had money trouble, she was asking me or my family to pay for her shit, but when I needed help, who did I have to turn to? And every now and then, yes, my family helped. And I'm not the type of person who's like, I need 500 here, I need 1,000 there. I'm not that. I don't feel right about. I don't like it when people give me money for no reason, even if it's to help. I don't like it. It doesn't feel right. And the only reason why I accepted to what was going on with the home and getting the home is because I was trying to save my fucking relationship. And that immediately destroyed everything between my kids and I, everybody. So knowing that this shit was coming around, I was not going to give the opportunity for her to wait until she decides that she couldn't do it anymore. She loses her job. The lease is up, whatever ends up happening, to turn around and show back up at my door and ask me to take her back in. I'm not giving that opportunity. She's gonna pull that shit. She's gonna fucking work for it. Because that's the sad part is I recognize I'm stuck. I'm still, I'm not, it's not just still, I'm going to be in love with the person that has been hurting me, especially the last few years, for a long time. From 14 years old to now, you don't just stop loving someone. I'm going to grab my smokes. No, it's like I just all I have to do is remind myself, and as much as they might think this is funny if they're watching this, clearly there was something about me. If they were not using me from the start, then clearly there was something about me that attracted them to me. And it wasn't just school, because I wasn't the one who showed up while they were in the hospital in some form of coma. They have no clue what's going on, and I didn't show up to portray myself as their spouse and lie my way into the hospital. I didn't make all this effort to get with them while they were getting over a divorce and trying to make sense of what was going on. I wasn't pushing all that. See, I wasn't easy. I don't allow the first thing that makes promises to just automatically just right away. The only reason why she got so much of a benefit was because I still loved her. But knowing that, obviously, that if I was able to attract her to me by being me, and all that, my ex-wife and anybody else I've dated, I didn't have to really try for those relationships necessarily. So I realized that obviously there's something about me that will attract them, The difference is I now finally have set standards on what kind of people I want to be with. I now recognize certain personality traits, and I'm going to see it. And when I hear certain things or see certain things, I'm not going to fuck with those people like that. I might be able to be friends with them, but I'm not going to trust them very well. Because of what I just experienced the last few years. Especially the last few years. And now that it's left me to question the last 12 years of this part of our relationship, and then all the way back to when we were first together, it's made me question everything. But I also know that I've had, with some of these others that I have dated, they were not narcissists. So not only do I know that I won't have a problem necessarily finding anyone, the issue will be within me on whether or not I'm ready for somebody or not. That's going to be a long time. I'm not one of those people who goes from one relationship and already has another one going on, like other people I've been with, and then try to portray it like it's something new. No, it's been going on for months. You've been lying. I'm not a perfect angel, but I do have morals, and I do my best to stick by those. And now that I'm developing standards in what I want in a relationship, let alone in a person, I know what personality traits to avoid, because they brought out the absolute worst in me. I never had an issue with, I think throughout my life there's only maybe, like especially in my relationship, I think maybe once or twice where I got to the point where I got so pissed I ended up throwing something. This relationship, the last 4 years, she knew how to pull to hit the triggers. She knew how to push them. She knew how to do all of it. She's known me since I was 14 years old. Of course she's going to know what's going to fucking set me off after a while, and she's going to know how to provoke it. She's going to know how I'm going to react to it. And then she used it like a fucking weapon on me. And I was never like that before. Never. I've had arguments, stuff like that. Every relationship has them. And it's how you deal with them. Some people grow apart, all that stuff. But I can tell you right now, the idea that I've never been with a woman that knows how to stay loyal and faithful, and the fact that some of you are in your 40s and you scream abuse like a high school girl screams rape when she's, angry at someone and doesn't want anybody else to know that she's guilty of her shit. There's something very wrong with that. When you intentionally want to drive the person you're with into the ground, mentally break them apart so that you can feel good about lying to them and cheating on them. So you can feel good about destroying the relationship with their children. And then you put all the responsibility onto them with no remorse. I'll say this again. God saved me. And if that person ever, because I don't think they might have happiness right now, but it's only a substitute and it's only temporary. For them to find it, they need to pull their head out of their ass. Not one person is perfect, and to see somebody with that kind of ego who thinks they're clean, their shit don't stink, and they're perfect, while silently they have one of the lowest self-esteems in a human being I've seen. So they decided to pick apart and destroy the one person who, no matter what, loved them even after 12 years of parental alienation that I got from her and her ex-husband. When she came into that hospital that day, portraying herself as my wife, I could have looked at the fucking hospital and said, that woman's not allowed to be in this place ever again. But I didn't. I kept my when I kept faithful to my vows until I knew exactly what my wife was doing at the time. Then once I knew, I was on my own. See, I could do what I did then. It's just unlike her, I don't have, might as well say, backup fucks on speed dial. I'm not that person. I may have dealt with a lot of abuse growing up as a child, but I learned to not allow that abuse to make me into a hateful, vengeful piece of shit. I don't want to see anybody ever go through that shit. Ever. Not even them. But anyways, I'm going to cut the ramble short because I could keep going. And I'm trying not to trigger myself. Because I'm going to be hurting because of that person for a long time. But I also know that person needs to remember, if I can get someone like her, I know I can get another, and just without the fucking narcissistic personality disorder attached to it. She needs to remember that. And then all she has to do is look at her track record and what she finds. I was not, like, one thing you'll learn about me is I'm humble enough to recognize that I'm never going to portray myself as the best thing that happens to somebody. But I can tell you right now, I definitely treated her far better than those other people, and while she treated me like shit to everyone. It wasn't until I got tired of the treatment, the alienation, the fucking abuse going on, that I began to get tired, shutting down, started fighting back, all that shit. I still have to deal with some of the consequences of my own actions, and I am. I'm accepting them. I'm still dealing with the fact that there are parts of me that she changed on me that is not good, and I'm having to get help for that. You don't use somebody that long, do some really fucked up shit to them, and think that it's not gonna leave any lasting effect. Overall, what I'm trying to say is I'm going to be okay, and I'm gonna end up being in a far better place than I was with them, especially the last 4 years. You don't treat people like shit and expect them to do more for you. What you do is you fucking please and destroy them and talk shit about them every time you get fucking mad at them. So I hope this next fling will be able to put up with that 12 years before you fuck them up. I hope they're strong enough. And it doesn't matter how much money is involved, because, well, you had a lot more money in your marriage, and I saw where that went. I'm always going to love them. I'm hurting. And ironically enough, whether they believe it or not, I forgive them. It's on their plate. It's on their table to do it, to pull their head out of their ass and do what they need to do. Because I can tell you right now, I know them extremely well, and they know it. Anyways, you have a good day, and tomorrow I might talk your ear off again. Most likely will. Again, I'll keep everybody updated on the new home. And then when I go to move, I will take people along with, and I'll be posting to both channels. The difference is until I'm actually there, I'm not gonna be sharing like I'm gonna be avoiding sharing major landmarks and locations, basically. Um, Not even state if I can avoid it. So if some people want to find me, they can contact me when they decide to pull their head out of their ass. Otherwise, I cannot. No, that's my kryptonite, and I don't want them contacting me verbally or anything like that. I'm scared of them. I will be scared of them for a long while because I know what they're capable of. They fucked my life up really good. Or I should say, they fucked me up really good because my life is only going to get better here on out.